Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas Etch Pack X15.1 in kangaroo leather. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. So let me get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is a really interesting variation of the X15.1, which is of course part of this limited edition Etch Pack. Now for those that are unfamiliar with this particular shoe, essentially the Etch Pack is a kangaroo leather upper variation of the standard version of the shoe, but unlike the regular leather models, the entire upper is made from leather. So this is unlike any other X15.1 that we've seen up until this point, and is actually a pretty exciting variation of the shoe. In the video, we're going to go over all the details on materials, quality, tech specs, performance, the weight, as well as how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, unlike the A16.1 Etch Pack, the X15.1, for whatever reason, is only available in Europe. So if you click the review page on my website, that's the very first link down below in the description of this video, you will find buy it now links for the Etch Pack X15.1 for about $225 US. Pretty much the same retail that you would find for the Ace model. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk tech specs and performance. Now, the Etch Pack variation of the X15.1 is particularly interesting because it takes a very unique and modern design in the X15.1 and strips away pretty much all of the synthetic materials in place of very high quality kangaroo leather. The only non-kangaroo leather aspect of the upper is the tongue, which is a synthetic leather material that feels equally as soft. So that's not even something that I'm disappointed in. The quality is amazing. Now, with that said, we have of course had a leather upper variation of the X15.1 available since launch, which is what I have right here. Side by side though, you guys can see that these are very, very different shoes. The regular leather X15.1 does offer kangaroo leather basically from the forefoot forward, and then the top half of the tongue. Those two parts are leather, but the rest of the shoe, as you guys can see, is full synthetic. It has a different cut, more standard cut in the heel area. It doesn't offer their Tech Fit collar system. And it's not really a great leather shoe. It's not a bad shoe, but if you really want the feel of a leather soccer cleat, this would definitely not be my number one pick. Not even close, actually. So with this Etch Pack, what's kind of interesting is that the entire upper is made from kangaroo leather. It's a different stitching pattern. It's a different caliber of leather altogether. The quality is very, very good. So leather spans the entire upper. Everything that you see is leather, which is really, really nice. Laces still run down the middle. The tongue, like I said, is a synthetic leather material that still does have some etching on it, which is pretty cool. And then it does maintain the Tech Fit collar as well as the Tech Fit heel liner that you'll find on the standard synthetic upper variation of the X15.1, which is, in my opinion, the only downside of this Etch Pack shoe, which I'll get to in just a second. So as far as touch is concerned, really premium kangaroo leather. It has some decent thickness to it as well, so it's not super thin. It definitely will offer a fairly padded feel across the entire foot. And again, if you're looking for that leather-like touch with the kind of shape and aesthetic of the X15.1, this is what you're looking for. It's a very, very unique all kangaroo leather shoe. Normally we just don't see leather shoes of this particular style with this particular shape, or I guess general silhouette. But like I said, the quality is definitely there. Top notch from Adidas. Really, really happy with these. With that said, moving on to the back area, you do have an internal plastic heel counter. You have the Tech Fit collar, which is made from like a neoprene material. Doesn't span into the shoe, basically cuts off at this point right here. So it just wraps your ankle and the top of your foot. Something that honestly you notice when you put them on, but while you're playing, it's not noticeable at all. For the most part, it's a standard low cut with these little extension pieces on the side that offer no performance benefit or no change in the feel of the shoe whatsoever. It just feels like a standard shoe. What I don't love about this though is the actual heel liner, which is that same neoprene material that's very smooth and can be quite slick against your socks. So a lot of people who bought the synthetic upper variation of the X15.1 experienced heel slippage, including myself, not to the point where it's kind of a no-go as far as the shoe is concerned. It is something that is minimal enough to where you can pretty much get away with wearing them without any kind of discomfort, but it is slightly annoying. So I wish they would have put the synthetic leather liner like we have on the prime knit variation of the X15.1, but they opted for the neoprene liner, which, like I said, isn't terrible, but it isn't exactly what I would have liked to seen on this particular shoe. Insole, fully removable. It's a synthetic leather liner with some micro perforations, as you guys can see, and then they do have the Etch Pack and X logo etched out in the actual insole, which is kind of a cool little detail. Other than that, though, it's just a standard X15.1 insole, single layer of this white foam. And then, of course, it does maintain the same sole plate and stud pattern as the regular X15.1. You can see all the cutouts with some synthetic leather in between just to maintain the look of the shoe. And then, of course, you do have their FG-AG stud pattern. So this shoe is suitable for use on firm natural grass as well as on artificial grass, which is kind of a cool little feature as well. So overall, really good quality. If you've always wanted a full kangaroo leather variation of the X15.1, this is it. Like I said, the quality is definitely there. And if this kind of ticks all the boxes in what you want from a pair of soccer shoes, definitely something that I can strongly recommend. In terms of weight, I thought we'd compare the leather X15.1 to the Etch Pack variation to see if there's any significant difference between the two. So keep in mind that both of these shoes are the exact same size 9 US, so this is a very fair comparison. We'll start off with the leather X15.1, which weighs about the same as the standard synthetic model, as well as the prime knit variation, which, as you guys can see, is right at the 8-ounce mark, 8.1 ounces, the equivalent of 229 grams. So it's a relatively lightweight shoe, but it definitely has some solidness to the overall feel as well. So remember those numbers, change the scale back to ounces, pull these off, and we'll throw on the Etch Pack X15.1, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.9 ounces, the equivalent of 252 grams. So you're talking about a 0.8 ounce weight difference between these two shoes, which is fairly significant. It's almost a full ounce. Will you notice a difference? Yes. Not only because of the weight of the shoe, which I would say is kind of the most minor aspect of what you'll actually notice as far as differences go, but it's mostly in the way that this shoe feels, because the entire upper is made from kangaroo leather, especially after break-in. It's significantly softer and, just like I said, offers a completely different feel in comparison to every other variation of the X15.1. So like I said, definitely not the lightest X15 that we have seen up until this point, but if you want that leather-like feel on an X15.1 platform, there really is nothing else out there other than this particular shoe. So I think for most people who would be interested in these, the weight isn't going to deter them. As far as aesthetics and the general colorway is concerned, I really like how these look, but at the same time, they're kind of weird. The X15.1 is a shoe that visually does not appeal to everybody. Some people love how it looks, some people absolutely hate them. And when you take a shoe that is kind of controversial as it is, not really designed to be fully kangaroo leather, and you make it fully kangaroo leather, it makes the shoe look a little bit, I guess, bulkier than it should look. But still, nonetheless, I think that because of the quality of the materials and just the etched out design in general, it's a really, really cool looking shoe. So you have all white leather that will get dirty very quickly. It'll be very difficult to keep clean. And then, of course, you have the X graphic, or the Chaos graphic, on either side that's fully etched out. It looks really, really cool. It kind of gives this like lightish brown, almost gold-like color. You have it on both sides. It's extremely detailed, very, very precise. The Adidas logo etched out on the back, which looks really cool as well. On the tongue, you're going to find the leather symbol as well as the X logo etched out as well. You guys saw the etching on the actual insole. And then the sole plate, as you guys can see, is a combination of white and gold, which again just looks very, very clean. Again, these will be very difficult to keep clean just because of their white coloring. The laces are going to get dirty, all the stitching is going to get dirty, as well as the actual Tech Fit collar, which is white, something we really haven't seen up until this point, and that again is one of those aspects of the shoe that's going to stain, it's going to get dirty, and it's just not going to look very good, let's say a month into actually wearing these things. So if you can live with that, definitely pick these up. But if you are really kind of a neat freak and want your shoes to look as clean as possible, these will definitely be a challenge. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. All right, so here is a look at the Etch Pack X15.1s on feet. On my left foot I have the stock white laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of reflective gold SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. You find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, the shoe has the same general shape as an X15.1, the standard variation, whether it's the synthetic model or the prime knit, because like I showed you guys earlier in the video, the regular leather model isn't really the same as the rest of the X15.1s. So like I said, it has the same general shape, it has the same general fit, but it's a little bit different through the midfoot given that you don't really have the X-Cage support system. This is just straight up kangaroo leather. So I would argue that it's perhaps not quite as tight, perhaps not quite as locked down, and it really just has more of a traditional kind of leather shoe feel, just with a kind of unusual shape given the style of upper that the shoe actually has, if that makes any sense. So it's definitely got a tighter fit overall. The comfort level is very good from out of the box. The quality of the leather is fantastic. It's soft, it's flexible. Really the only I guess resistance you're going to find from the shoe is from the actual sole plate that will become more flexible after some wear time. And as far as the fit in the heel is concerned, again, just like the regular X15.1, there's a very slight amount of heel slippage because of the material that they used, but it's not necessarily something that is a deal breaker. If you can manage a little bit of heel slippage, it's not something that, like I said, is going to absolutely ruin your experience with this shoe. And depending on how they fit you, you might not have any heel slippage at all, but just know that with this particular model and this heel liner, it is a fairly common problem that, like I said, isn't detrimental to the experience, but is something that you probably will notice throughout your experience with the shoe. Width-wise, it is a tighter fitting shoe. The sides of the shoe don't actually come up very high, so because of that, it doesn't necessarily allow for a particularly wide fit. So even though they are leather and they will stretch after some wear time, probably not the best option if you have really, really wide feet. It definitely does have a slimmer profile pretty much all the way through. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So just like the regular X15.1, if you are looking to order a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Etch Pack Adidas X15.1. If you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, click the very first link down below in the description. That's going to take you to the review page on my website where you'll find one, the high quality images of this exact pair. That'll give you a better idea as to how they actually do look in person. They're pictures that I took myself. And two, buy it now links where you will be able to pick these up for about $220 US from a retailer based out of the UK, because like I mentioned at the start of the video, this particular shoe did not release in North America. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding this particular shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.